All right, so just so happens that we have probably the stiffest hips and quads in front of us here today. So it plays into our SI pain and stuff. Now, my client here doesn't have SI pain typically, but sometimes he gets some popping, clicking, or a lot of times he gets popping and clicking in the front of the hip, and he sometimes feels like it's in that low back as well, due to the psoas and iliacus being so stiff and him being so stiff through his glutes that we don't get a whole lot of hip extension unless he tightens up in his adductors. Now, he's a cyclist, so he's getting a lot of push out of that for quick repetitions, so fast twitch means it kicks on, right? If he can relax as much as possible, unclench, and I go, nope, see, he can't. It just instantly turns on, right? So what I'll do, and this is a pro tip for my other therapists out there, number one, you have to pin down the head of the femur, right? So I will wrap up under here. I go fist down. I try and tell him to relax, unclench. Take a few strong, deep breaths in. Deep breath out. There you go. Okay. Now he's a little stemmed up. He just got here from work. He's got a big stressful day, a lot of things going on. So for the purposes of this video, I'm just going to do a little bit of work here. I'm going to press down very heavy on the head of the femur, right, which he's probably feeling a little spillover into the low back or the side of the hip. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to elevate up on his knee. You feel that right in the front of the hip, yes? Okay. He's not getting a whole lot of quad. If I bent his knee more, he'll get more quad, but that's not his issue. His issue is deep in the front of the hip, okay? And if he's always stemmed up when I'm trying to pull on it or when we try to do some sort of leg lift, he can't ever truly change the length because he's so stemmed up. It's just going to go into protection mode. And so now I'm able to get up a little bit higher off the table, and I hold for a few. I let him breathe into it. And I'll come down. Now here's the next step that I'll do, because most people are going to be dealing with psoas, iliacus on the front of the hip. They're also going to be dealing with tight quad and TFL, right? Tensor fascia lata. It's a really weird name, but it is what it is. So we go up into extension. Now here we are. I'm applying about the same pressure, if not less, probably a little less. And I'm going to go into internal rotation, still applying downward force on that head of the femur. You feel that on the front outside, yes? Yes. Good. So I hold here. He gets a lot of deep hip extension without lumbar extension, right? So I will work him through a few different ranges of motion. I'll kind of take his leg out to the side, but the whole purpose here is to stretch that deep front hip. Now for him, he's still got a lot going on in the QLs, his core, other issues that we've been dealing with, but that's kind of where I would start to create as much hip extension for him. Then we got to teach him how to stabilize his lumbar, and he should eventually stop having as much popping and clicking, right? If we stayed up on this more than he stayed up on his cycling and high intensity workouts. I can't keep up with that all the time, but if he does the stretches daily, we can start to chip away at it. Also, however many years he's had to break down the body, we almost have to pay a debt and clean up after ourselves, right? We have to go back in and reestablish control over a given joint. So, hope that all helps. Watch my other videos on the sciatic pain, and yeah, have a good one.